Call the meeting to order for Thursday, November 7th. Roll call, please.
Mr. Martin?
Yeah.
Mr. Spence?
Here.
Dr. Ross?
Here.
Administrator?
Present.
Mayor?
Here.
Solicitors absent, fiscal officers present. Mr. Merriman?
Here.
Mr. Matterns absent, and Mr. Dakenkall.
Here.
Everyone, please stand for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You have the minutes before you of our Thursday, October 17th meeting. A motion be in order to approve.
Second.
Any comments, questions? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Martin?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
Mr. Dakenkall.
Yay.
Thank you. Is there anyone who'd like to speak before council tonight? Seeing none, we'll move forward. We have no ordinances, is that correct?
No.
Tardy?
No, you're all right.
She just said, well, man.
Luckily, the clock says 8 o'clock, so you're all right. We were all late.
I'm only an hour late.
We were all late. All right. Reports and announcements. You have the court report, mayor's report, court report before you. We have a total brought into the village of $7,471 for the month of October. You have the village receiving $6,232.98, state receiving $1,106.50, and other $132.52. Police report for October, 175 complaints, 314 incoming calls, 20 accidents, 19 cases, 14 alarms, 19 juvenile cases, 39 arrests, 5 other arrests, 3 parking violations, 3 vehicle impounds, 9 out-of-town assistance, 43.5 auxiliary hours, and 2 canine uses. You have old money fines collected prior to 2015 of $1,170, bringing the total to $15,258 for the year. Total of $94,343. You had a code enforcement report, 13 licenses, 650, 15 permits, 405. Speaking of that, we will be advertising for a new code enforcement officer to begin the first, he should actually begin the first of the year. We can bring him on a little bit early to work with Tom in a transition mode. We'll let you know.
Is there any kind of requirements for that?
Not really. I mean, it's just 3 days a week.
You gotta know a little bit about construction.
Yeah, we can. I mean, again, we'll be open. You don't really need to know anything about construction, to be clear.
It's a code officer.
It's a code officer. He just needs to be able to be educated by himself, I guess, self-sufficient, educated, because he has to read the codes, understand the codes. But he doesn't go out to job sites and say, hey, this is out of order, that's not. That's not our job. So that's done by the state. All right.
Thank you.
I have before me, so now it's before Walt, General Assembly of the United States of Ohio, Ohio Senate, honoring the Wintersville Police Department for remarkable achievements. On behalf of the members of the Senate of the 133rd General Assembly of Ohio, we are pleased to extend special recognition to the Wintersville Police Department on the 25th anniversary of its drug abuse resistance education program, which would be DARE. The Wintersville Police Department is comprised of a cohesive and exemplary group of motivated law enforcement personnel. And for the past quarter century, they have operated a DARE program to help prevent the abuse of drugs, the spread of violent behavior, increasing gang membership. Through their development and support of the DARE program, the many dedicated officers and civilian staff and departments have certainly distinguished themselves as conscientious and hardworking Ohioans. While many people are content to take a passive role in life, those in Wintersville Police Department have often risked their own safety to ensure the well-being of their fellow citizens, and the enthusiasm and devotion to the duty which they have shown in all of their endeavors have earned them the gratitude and respect of the community they have so capably served. We are certain that as many as they maintain their commitment to the service, these individuals will continue in tradition of excellence which has long been the department hallmark. Thus, with the great pleasure, we recommend the Wintersville Police Department on the 25th anniversary of its DARE program and salute its members as outstanding Ohioans. Senator Larry Aubuff and Senator Frank Hoagland, 30th Senatorial District. So congratulations. Thank you. The Chief, you want to come forward? There's a couple items.
Good evening. First, Officer Wanger, his 6-month probation is over, and he has passed with flying colors. Therefore, it is time to bring him up before council for his permanent full-time position.
Motion be in order to approve him as a permanent full-time employee as of, what's the date?
The 10th, so moved.
The 10th, I guess.
Second.
6 months? Yes, it's already there, okay. Who seconded it? I'm sorry.
I did.
Comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Martin?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Degenkolb?
Yay.
Okay, is he entitled to the bump in pay now?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
I know there was one we had already. Okay, Denise will take care of that. Congratulations. Hey, great job.
Good job, Ryan.
Thanks for everything.
Congratulations.
Good work.
Okay, the second thing, if you do see, we are getting kind of scruffy on the police department. We are doing the No Shave November. Each officer has to donate $100 to charity of their choice. Therefore, we don't get to shave. Just try to help the community out a little bit more.
Randy, are you participating?
Yes.
'Cause I can't grow facial hair.
Are you doing it?
I'm growing it for everybody who can't.
Perfect.
I can, but mine won't look like, look like Santa Claus.
The other thing, I need to get council's approval for the mayor to enter into a contract with Bridge Payments regarding our magistrate court. They would be our third-party credit card vendor. We currently use Infotech. By switching to Bridge Payments, we are doing a couple things. A, we will be going from 2 providers to 1. We will be saving the village approximately $2,000 to $2,500 a year in fees, plus the amount that the customer, if you will, pays will be less. And they are integrated with our current software through the Baldwin Group.
And this has been reviewed by Mr. Becker, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So, with no issue?
No issues that I can foresee at this time.
Okay. So motion be in order.
So moved. Second.
Comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Martin?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Degenkolb?
Yay.
That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I wish to advise council, in case they hear from the employees over the next few days, met with a insurance broker that we have worked with in the past, that when our fees were getting exorbitant, Brian Savage, he came here about 6 years ago. We went with his company and actually were able to see a tremendous decrease in our costs to our healthcare back there in 6 years. We have received a quote from our current provider of an increase of 24%, which is approximately $100,000. Okay, which again, and we've had the increase the previous year, which we've been very outside of the box thinking with the higher deductibles and paying 70%, 70/30 of those claims last year, and looks like the risk that we took, we're going to be in good shape. We're going to still come below those dollars we budgeted, even though the budgeted amount we knew was not going to reach the amount we would need if all the claims were put in. So I think we're going to come in okay this year as far as with the cost and what we projected. We've asked him to look at our claims and look to see what he could provide for us and help us going forward. So what has happened is the employees will have to provide him some information. That we're going to receive a memo tomorrow. The memo is pretty much going to come from me, that this information needs to be either gathered or they need to schedule an appointment over the phone with his staff who will help them enter this information we need in order to get the best quotes we can get. If we don't receive all of that, I'm telling the employees, and I don't see any way around it if these costs are not contained, that single employees will be projected to pay $50 a pay for their health care, and families will pay $150 for pay for their health care. If we can't get this information in and try to get a better priced program. Again, part of the price program is not going to be reducing what they receive. Okay, we don't want reduced benefits. But what we've had some issues with employees with this current provider in getting their claims paid and getting their money back. And lags, okay, and which they said they should have within 10 days. It's taken sometimes 30 to 45 days, which is unacceptable. We've called there multiple times and tried to help, the employees just to find out that certain employees are no longer there without any regard of letting us know. So it's been a struggle this year. So if you hear anything, that's what's happening. And again, what's the rush? The rush is we have to get this information in order to get out to the different providers. So the goal is to stay with the same healthcare provider. But if we have to go to a different provider, making sure that we get the same quality services and have the same access to doctors, but anytime you change plans, sometimes there's going to be issues. So you may not have this doctor or that doctor. It's out of our control. But we have seen our costs go up, 25, 50,000, 75,000, now another 100. We just cannot contain those costs any longer. So we're trying to go and look to see if we have alternatives. So I just want to give everybody's heads up. We will know more within the budget process. And again, it was a struggle, which we finally did, a couple years ago. Our contracts used to run through October. The current health care runs through the end of the year, which that was a struggle to get to there. So we do have a little bit of time, but we don't have a lot, because what happens if we have to change providers, you have the issues with the insurance cards and everything that gets out, okay? So we're trying to get everything so we can have a cost number that we can look at and this council can approve within, hopefully, the December 5th meeting. That's the goal, okay? And then we'll plug those numbers into the budget. And I think Bob's going to talk about budget meetings here later on. But I just want to give you a heads up, because you're going to hear a lot of things that might be said. And again, it's a struggle we've always dealt with. It's just gotten out of control. And I see no difference of what we can do here other than looking. And hopefully we don't. We've never wanted to charge the employees, because we understand, based on what we pay them, this is a good benefit that we get to retain them. If we can still come in line, and this agent believes if we get all our paperwork in and everything, we should, he believes, come in at the same cost, if not better, than what we're being provided. I just think that the issue is the provider we have is just too short-staffed, and they just offer us the quote of here's what you get. And you know what, we're not going to stand back and say, okay, we'll take that. We just can't do it. So again, if you hear that, if you have any other questions, you can always ask me. But again, I would direct the employees with any questions, unfortunately, to Denise. She'll be working with the company. They can come up here and put everything in online, or again, they can set up an appointment and their office will do that. So they're gonna, again, they said it could take, if you're savvy and get your information, it's gonna take 15 minutes. Well, some of ours aren't as savvy, so it's probably gonna take 40 minutes.
Don't look at me.
All right, fine. All right. So, but they've offered up to help us and put, someone at their office on standby to set up appointments. So they don't have to have it done by Wednesday, but they at least have to either do it or set up an appointment with their office. And again, they're doing all this at no charge. There's no guarantee that we're going to go with them, but we'll see where it goes. All right.
Have all the employees all been notified?
They will all be notified tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, the
Okay.
memo and the information that would, again, I had 3-hour meeting today
Yeah.
with them. I mean, so, again, it's not the situation we want to be in. I was expecting 5-6%. When they come back 24, I'm like, and then they said they'll get back to me on other things. Well, I mean, that's like, to me, I just saying, you don't come to me and say, here, it's 24% without having alternative options. And they had none. So we have to go and try to find it. All right?
Good job.
Thanks. That's all I have. Administrator.
Nothing formal tonight, just a couple things to make everyone aware. Last week with the big wind, we lost the tot shelter at Sunset Gardens Park. Tree uprooted and crashed it. Perry met with the claims adjuster today, so we'll be following up and seeing when we can tear that down and then what it'll take to rebuild it. Also, if you go around town, there's 4 big constructions going on. Duncan at the corner of Caddis and Canton Road has their foundation footer in and is doing some other earthwork and drainage work. Dialysis Center has its footer in off of Well Day. A1 Pool off of Canton Road practically has, well, they do have their whole building up. They're possibly working on the inside. Wintersville United Methodist Church is almost buttoning up their construction, it looks like. Possibly more inside work, but the outside looks beautiful. And the last note are the Knowles 2 water line. Contractor started this week ripping the center of the road where the water line will go. Starting next Tuesday, they'll be doing the main line connections on Caddis Road and then the one on Canton Road, and then they'll begin laying the pipe. So there'll be some one-lane traffic on Caddis Road next week coming down the hill there, because those the tie-ins are out almost into the passing lane on Caddis Road. And then the other streets will be closed to local traffic, specifically Locust, when they get to Locust, because there'll be no room for traffic to go other than the people that live there. But we'll keep the residents and the contractor, keep the residents informed on that. That's all I have.
Hey,
Where's
well,
your
you left
contractor about
out-
moving that fire hydrant? Could we speak to them?
Move
They're
it.
on Locust, by the Pinal Building.
What's going to go in the same place, it's going to be replaced.
I want it moved. Perry was supposed to talk to you.
Okay.
I want to move down out of that parking lot. It has no business to be in that parking lot.
Hey, well, one business you left out, the new building on the corner, 43 Elite, they're just about to be finishing
I
up and
forgot
that.
about them, yes, yes. Thank you.
You are.
All right, we're gonna go back to an issue that you brought up. So, we talked about the paving and the driveway, down on the Avalons, and we got approval, council approved us to pave that, and the contract, which Mr. Becker has looked at, that we said we would take care of it for 10 years. Well, again, the contractor didn't do Meadowbrook, so we tried to get this outside contractor to do it, which we've approved that fee to do it. Unfortunately, by the time we got all the documents signed, he's not able to do it this year, so he's gonna do it in the spring. Mr. Donnelly has asked that we change the agreement to start in 2020. I see no issue with that because we haven't started it. So we're gonna send out the new agreement, the same agreement, but the new start date of 2020. All right, just so everybody heads up. All right, thank you. Anything else, Lord?
That's all.
Anything for administration? Seeing none, then. No new, any unfinished business?
No.
I don't think we have any. New business, Mr. Martin.
New business, that's, only thing I want to do, I want to thank Mr. Merriman and Councilman Brad for helping out at Halloween party last week, on Sunday, you know, getting the pizza and everything else that people serve, you know, and I want to thank all the high school kids coming down to Key Club, coming down to participate. I think we had about eight or nine of them, and Mrs. Evans was down, no, Mrs. Turner, excuse me, was there. And I want to thank the police department for coming over and check on, you know, everything, making sure everything was safe. And my wife, you know, and Mrs. Turner took care of all of the, getting all the kids labeled for judging. Then I had about 8 judges. I don't remember their names, but I just want to try to give a shout out to all of them and them helping out at the party. And the kids had a great time. Harold Starr came out, took some pictures. And so we look forward to doing this again next year. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. I just want to throw out a thank you to John and Gianna Moore, because we had to move it to Sunday. He's
Yeah.
closed on Sundays, and he made a special effort to come out, opened up, so the pizza would be there. And again, thank all those that helped in moving it from Thursday to Sunday. It was not a simple task, okay? And we received good comments for doing it, and we received bad comments for doing it. So it was not an easy undertaking. But the real reason for moving it, we were not going to have the Halloween party on one day and trick or treat on another. Okay, because had we had the party on Thursday, with no one else having trick or treat, we would have been turning kids away. And I said we are not going to do
sure.
that. So so it took a while. And again, thanking the school and the janitors for coming in on Sunday. But everybody, after a lot of phone calls, we were able to reorganize it, and I know, Robbie, that took a lot.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah,
Thank you.
and I just want to say, add on to that, Mayor, all the people donated, Kroger's, Respects,
They had to
Tim
move
Hortons.
it. It was something.
Yeah, it was a pretty nice, it did some shuffling around, but made it work, and I'm just glad it's over. That's all.
Mr. Spence?
I'd like to congratulate Gail Damron and Dr. Michael Ross on winning for the councilman, and I wanted to thank Mr. Degenkolb for the service and the effort that you put in as a councilman.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Anything- is that all?
That's all, thank you.
Dr. Ross?
No new business.
Mr. Becker?
Nothing, sir.
Ms. Jean Angel?
Nothing, sir.
Mr. Merriman?
Budget meeting, November 14, 6 PM, and also November 21st at 6 PM.
6 PM. What was the 2 dates, Mayor?
November 14 and November 21st,
14, 21, both
both
6.
Thursdays.
We might as well, they're both, might as well say December 5th, too.
Yeah, and
It's
December
sick.
5th.
Yeah, we should have the first budget ready by December 5th.
Okay.
Chief, if you could have your information ready for us, you'll go first. Walt, you'll go first with basically the general budget first, and then we'll probably hit water and sewer and sanitation in the upcoming meetings after that. All right?
I'll have Tammy remind everyone the day before.
Each
these,
one,
just so-
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Not all of us have a good calendar. All right, is that all, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Degenkolb.
Dr. Ross, Gail, congratulations on your victory. It was a cold day. It was a miserable day, but we all got through it. And I appreciate the past 3 years, and I plan to finish my term to the best of my ability. And I would really like to stay involved in some capacity moving forward. So I don't know what that will be, but thank you all. Appreciate it.
I will save my comments till December.
Sure.
All right? But thank you. There are no transfers?
No.
People don't understand. This is amazing. You know, Mr. Angel, again, I got to thank you with the budget and keeping us in line. We would always have transfers in March. I mean, here it is November. We don't have any. So thank you for keeping us in line. I appreciate that. The bills are in front of you. Motion to pay the bills.
7.
Second.
Comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Mr. Martin?
Yay.
Mr. Spence?
Yay.
Dr. Ross?
Yay.
Mr. Merriman?
Yeah.
Mr. Degenkolb?
Yay.
Motion to adjourn until November 21st, 7 PM.
So.
In a second.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you.